A very warm welcome to all of you. Today we are going to explore a path that is rarely talked about in our highly competitive, high stakes academic world. We are told what to study and sometimes how to study, but we are rarely taught how to align our inner conciseness to make learning effortless. I want you to take a deep breath and go of the pressure. Over the next few minutes or 15 minutes, we will unlock the spiritual secret to cracking any exam, not through panic, endless cramming, or sleep deprivation, but through a holistic, stress free alignment of your mind, body, and spirit. Let us begin this journey of transforming your academic pursuit into a sacred practice. Before we talk about the spiritual secrets, we must understand the sickness of the current system. We live in an era of toxic academic pressure. Students are treated like data processing machines, forced into a hyper competitive race where failure is equated with worthlessness. This constant dread doesn't make you smarter. It actually paralyzes the very instrument you need to succeed, your brain. Let's look at the science of what happens to a stressed mind. Look at these two panels. Here, there is a profound biological cost to studying under intense anxiety. First, we have cortisol and mind freeze. When you study in a state of panic, your brain is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. This chemically shuts down your prefrontal cortex, the seat of memory retrieval. This is why you blank out or freeze during an exam despite studying for weeks. Second, anxiety traps anxiety traps you in the fear loop. The brain enters survival mode, mistaking an exam paper for a predatory threat. If your brain's resources are entirely consumed by running away or fighting a perceived danger, its capacity to digest complex mathematics or recall scientific formulas drops to absolute zero. Stress is literally the enemy of intelligence. So in my next slide, the first major shift is spiritual, and it is a shift of motive. Why are you studying? If your motive is fear, fear of failing, fear of parental disappointment, fear of poverty, your energy will always be defensive and restricted. I invite you to shift your motive from fear to contribution. Stop viewing exams as barriers and start viewing them as opportunities to acquire knowledge that will eventually use to serve, heal, and uplift humanity. When you study to serve, the universe opens up your receptive intelligence. A calm, purposeful mind absorbs information up to 4 times faster than a panicked, rushed mind because it is in harmony with natural curiosity. Okay, so let's dive into our first practical secret, conscious breathing or pranayama. Our breath is the physical remote control for our nervous system. When our breathing is shallow and rapid, our brain thinks it's under attack. By practicing Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing for just 5 minutes before you open your books, you stimulate the vagus nerve. This triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, instantly dropping your heart rate and quietening mental chatter. More importantly, it balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain, creating a state of high neural coherence perfectly optimized for memory storage. The second secret is the ancient practice of establishing a sankalpa, a sacred resolution. Most student begins study session by sighing, complaining, and opening a textbook with resentment. This sets a negative energetic blueprint. Instead, spend 30 seconds before studying to close your eyes, place a hand over your heart, and state a clear intention. I study to refine my intellect to become a source of service, healing, and clarity. This simple shift aligns your subconscious. It removes the paralyzing fear of failure because you have reframed the core of studying into a spiritual pathway of self improvement. Secret number three is the science of sound and cosmic vibrations. Our brains operate on different wave frequencies. When we are stressed, we are in high beta waves. By chanting or even listening to ancient Sanskrit sounds like the Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tassavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Yo No Prachodayat. Saraswati Bees Mantra, we create an alpha wave shift. These rhythmic frequencies synchronize chaotic brain waves into relaxed alpha and theta states, which are the optimal states for deep learning and memory consolidation. Vocalizing these sounds acts as a neuroacoustic anchor, stabilizing blood flow, settling adrenaline, and physically opening up your mental bandwidth. It clears the invisible psychic noise of your environment. This brings us to one of the greatest spiritual secrets even spoken, recorded in the Bhagavad Gita. Karmanye vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, you have a right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself the cause of your results. When applied to exams, this is the ultimate anxiety killer. Your only job is the process of studying with absolute integrity. The result is not in your hands, it belongs to the divine. When you perform your duty and surrender the results, you carry no burden. The heavy weight of what if I fail is lifted off your shoulders, leaving you completely free to perform at your absolute peak. Secret number five is about aligning with cosmic timing, Brahma Muhurta. This is the sacred window between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Yogic science and modern chronobiology both agree that during these hours, the atmosphere is uniquely calm, highly oxygenated, and rich in sattva, the quality of purity and light. There is minimal mental noise in the world around you. Studying for just 1 hour during Brahma Muhurta yields up to 300% higher memory consolidation than trying to force information into a exhausted, depleted brain at midnight. Sleep early, rise with the cosmos, and watch your retention skyrocket. Secret 6 is Tataka, a classical yogic purification technique designed to build laser-like mental focus. In our digital age, our attention is constantly fragmented. Trataka involves steadily gauging at a single point, Traditionally, a candle flame or a small black dot at eye level for 2 minutes without blinking until tears form. Then closing your eyes and concentrating on the after image. This simple discipline silences the brain's default mode network, which is responsible for daydreaming and anxiety. It physically trains your optic nerve and your mind to hold to singular, unwavering point of focus, making your mind a sharp, penetrating instrument. Our brain is a physical organ, and the quality of the food we consume directly dictates the quality of our thoughts. In yoga, we emphasize sattvic nutrition. First, feed your brain prana foods, soaked almonds, walnuts, fresh organic fruits, and seeds. These uh, directly fuel your neurons without causing the digestive sluggishness that heavy processed foods do. Second, focus on neural hydration through warm herb infused waters or teas. This increases molecular conductivity across neural pathways. Lastly, achieve cellular balance by avoiding state chemically preserved and overly sugary foods, which spike your insulin and trigger severe brain fog and lethargy. Eat pure, think pure. Okay, this should be your motto when you are studying or you are preparing for examination. The eighth secret is the eighth secret is the creation of a sacred space or a study sanctuary. Your external environment acts as an external mirror to your mind. If you study in a chaotic, messy space, or worse, in your bed, your mind receives mixed signals. Never study where you sleep. It confuses the brain's circadian rhythm. Designate a single desk strictly for learning. Keep it immaculately clean. Introduce natural light, perhaps the scent of sandalwood or lavender to anchor memory retriever, and place a simple green plant nearby. The living plant saturates your space with oxygen and a calming, silent presence of life grounding your nervous system. Let's look at some very sobering data regarding our digital habits. In yoga, pratyahar means conscious withdrawal of the senses. Today, we need digital pratyahar because Facebook, Instagram, mobile phones, YouTube, so many things. But don't skip my YouTube channel, okay? Uh, but in YouTube also there are so many good things. In social media are so many good things. But the problem is our uh, out of the 24 hours we are spending 7 8 hours in all those social networks. Okay, so as you can see on this chart, a student with 6 hours of daily recreational screen time averages a fragmented attention span of barely 12 minutes. As screen time decreases, attention span and deep focus rise exponentially. If you practice a digital fast, that is pratyahar, during your study blocks, putting your phone in another room entirely, your dopamine baselines reset. You transition from a state of constant anxious distraction to 90 minutes of uninterrupted, deep, blissful intellectual flow. Okay. How do we bind all these secrets together? We align with the daily rhythm of nature as mapped out here. We begin at 4:30 a.m. with activation, meditation, breathing, and cleaning physical pathways. By 6 a.m., we transition to core absorption, studying the most intellectually demanding analytical subject when your memory card is fresh and completely empty of daily worries. At 2 p.m., we utilize the afternoon deep for active recall, practicing tests and working with our hands. Finally, at 9 p.m., we enter surrender, giving our day back to the divine, meditating, and allowing deep sleep to naturally write what we learned into long term storage. Our 10th secret is the observation of ojas. In Ayurvedic science, ojas is the subtle, vital energy that governs physical immunity, mental endurance, and spiritual aura. Every time we engage in endless gossip, scroll mindlessly on social media, or indulge in emotional drama, we leak this precious force. When you conserve your sensory energies, a practice known as brahmacharya or sensory control, this energy is naturally channeled upward. It refines your nervous system and converts into a raw, penetrative intellect. You will find yourself studying for hours with absolute ease without feeling depleted or burnt out. But what happens when you are sitting in the exam hall and panic starts to creep in? Here is your emergency spiritual protocol. First, apply the 3 deep breaths rule. It takes exactly 3 deep, conscious belly breaths to tell your amygdala to stop releasing adrenaline and turn your prefrontal cortex back on. Second, repeat your silent Sankalpa affirmation. I am a channel of universal intelligence. What I have studied is accessible to me now. Third, practice divine resignation. Offer the paper as a prayer and let go of the ego's demand for perfection. Lastly, build early momentum by immediately answering the easiest, most familiar questions first. This triggers a healthy flush of dopamine, boosting your confidence and unlocking deeper memory networks. Let's look at this comparison. It summarizes the two paths you can take. The stress driven student is motivated by fear, shame, and ego. There are anxious, scattered, fatigued, and highly prone to panic attacks and memory blocks. They are utterly obsessed with final marks and public validation. On the other hand, on the other side, in the spiritual, spirit aligned student, driven by a love of truth, self realization, and service, their mind remains calm, unified, and vibrant. Their anxiety is replaced by a serene detachment. And because they enjoy the sacred process of learning rather than obsessing over the destination, they naturally excel and score brilliantly. In the ancient Upanishads, it is declared Sabidya Ya Bhimaktai, which means that which liberates us is true knowledge. Please remember, exams are merely minor checkpoints on the vast, beautiful canvas of your life. They do not define your definite worth. True education is not about stuffing your brain with the dry data to pass a 3 hour test. It is about expanding your awareness, refining your character, and connecting your individual mind to the infinite universal consciousness. As we prepare to close, here is your simple, actionable daily checklist. I do not ask you to change your entire life overnight. Just start with these three things tomorrow. Wake up during the quiet, Sattvic hour of Brahma Muhurta to study your toughest topics. Practice 5 minutes of Nadi Shodhana, breathing before you open your books to calm your nervous system. Offer the fruits of your labor to the divine, surrendering your performance stress. These three simple steps will completely transform your relationship with learning. I want to thank you all for your presence, your deep attention, and your open hearts today. My prayers and blessings are with each and every one of you. May divine clarity guide your intellect in your upcoming exam and in the grander journey of your life. I am now happy to take any questions you may have. Thank you. Jai Jagannath. If you are having any questions, just drop it in my comment section, and do remember to like this video if you like it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Thank you.